Here, Plumber from Robots Everywhere. I will show you how to operate the Propbridge, install the demo app, and do other things with it. This is your mini Propbridge board in perpetual motion configuration. Now the firmware for that costs extra, so let's take that off. And you do not need a Propbridge for this, by the way. That's just so that, I eat. You can easily build yourself your own board. Propeller makes it very simple. You download the object, ADB Bridge. It's on the Parallax Object Exchange. The object will contain both your Eclipse project and the propeller project. Here it is, spin.zip. You unzip that somewhere wherever you want. You load Propbridge serial. Here we go. Compile it. Know that you're using about half the prop, because this is about half the memory, and you're using 4 cores at the moment, 3 for the USB host and 1 for the main loop. You take a tablet or a phone. By the way, this will work with any Android device. It could be your G1 phone, it could be the latest tablet. It will work. All you have to do is enable debug mode. Let's flash the thing. Now, what you have to do with a tablet is you have to load your project into Eclipse and program that in. That's the first thing you really need to do on the tablet. It will give you a again, it will give you a demo app. It's very simple. All you do with Eclipse is you load the thing, import it. You select import existing project into workspace. It's under File, Import existing project into workspace. You load the app on the tablet, which I have already done. You're welcome to reuse this code, by the way. It's pretty simple. There's a bunch of stuff in here that's not terribly relevant to you. What you do care about is the name of the app, because you will need it for the directory, and how to send commands and read commands. Now the principle of operation is very simple. To send commands to the Propbridge, all you have to do is use a log statement with the tag pbin. To receive data from this, well, technically you don't even need to, because the Propbridge will save data to a file in your app's cache directory. Then you just read the file. So if your app can read a file and send out log messages, it can talk to the Propbridge. Again, super simple. There's barely any API needed. The Propbridge opens 4 shells into the Android device. One to receive data from the logs, 1 to do the COM ports, 1 as a shell, because this will also give you a root shell, and 1 spare, because if you buy the full Propbridge, it will be used for the analog inputs, but we don't have any on this guy. So let's connect it all up. You will see. Oh, and also let's load the terminal. It's just a standard Parallax serial terminal. Note that it will complain about not being in sync. That's simply because, well, it's not connected yet. So let's connect it. Here we go. Now what this thing will do is I will show you that there is USB debugging connected. Then you will load the Propbridge test app, which is here. It's extremely simple. Note that it has 4. You can send commands to COM ports 0, 1, 2, 3. COM port 0 is also the console. This is mostly used for debugging. So what you do after that is you open your terminal, which is going to be here, and as you see, it will have logged into the phone. It will try to give you a root shell if available. Most tablets will give you one. That's all you have to do. Now to send commands to it, if you send something to COM0, it will send it right back to the shell. So let's say hello. and hit COM0, it will appear here as the instruction S0. That means send the command to port 0, and then it will also actually send the string to port 0. COM1, 2, and 3 work the same way. Now the Propbridge in standard configuration can do up to 4 ports. I am only doing 4 in this demo right now. To receive strings, you would, if you had any other COM port hooked up to this, you would just type, and it would be received by the prop. Now you see here it says serial input. Let's type something here, and let's type something big so that it's visible. Let's say a bunch of I's and O's. And when you hit enter, it will send the packet. And watch this. You get a shell into the phone. So that actually said, not found. Now to use COM0, you can actually send commands to this. You can schedule commands to be sent, for example. That gets used a lot in data logging. Now, if you want to use COM0 as a normal serial port, what you do is you prefix. You need to send a command. Sending a command is done by having the first character be an @sign. In this case, the command for override the shell is another @sign. So you do @sign, and then a string. So let's try again those I's and O's. We'll let us treat it as just a serial string to send to the Propbridge. When I hit enter here, you can see the string having appeared. Now, where is this done? Where is this done in code? Very simple. The output code from the Android device to the Propbridge is right here, and it's incredibly easy. Log.e, the tag pbin, and then you just send a command in a string. That's literally all there is to it. As far as reading data in, it's slightly more complicated. I try to do it atomically here. It's done down here. There is a comment to explain it. First off, we delete the old temporary file if it's there. We move the current buffer to a temporary file. We scan that, and then we put that into a string and consume it. This lets you treat the extra COM ports pretty much as if they were standard Linux character devices. The system can be used to talk to Xstreams, XBs, robot controller. By the way, if you do want to do robot control, check out our robot control application, which is configured to talk to Propbridge already, and a number of other things. What are the advantages with this with respect to the IO? Very simply. 1, this guy gets you as many shells into the phone you want, so you can do things asynchronously and synchronously at the same time. 2, you're actually using about half the prop. This guy could also be controlling servos, steppers, all sorts of things with barely any extra hardware. Even if you want to do servo controls, all you have to do is you hook up the data pins to here, you feed the servos 5 volts, and you can do whatever you want. If you can do a servo, you can do a motor controller, you can do a robot, you can do a number of things. If you want to connect ultrasonic sensors to this, you just do. They can be read, it can output. You can create your own device as a file that just outputs, again, numbers, for example, and your application can read it. It's essentially, this thing is a little bit more expensive and a lot more extensible. This concludes the demo. If you have questions, you may ask it in the YouTube comments. Thank you very much. Spirit Plumber, we're done here.